It is Monday, August 7th. I am sitting here. I feel a mess, so I'm putting on my New Orleans hat I just got last month in New Orleans. I like trucker hats. And look, it matches my shirt. We wear a lot of these Hawaiian shirts on set when we film because it's always Hawaiian shirt Friday. I know it's a Monday, but I like this shirt. And I wanted to feel festive because I am tired. I only got about 4 hours of sleep last night. I don't know. I just couldn't sleep, but I don't know why. I just wasn't tired. I was just laying in bed and was trying to sleep and I couldn't. So the very first thing I did was wake up early and make some coffee so I could, you know, actually be productive today on Monday. Um, but I had a good actually, and I had a good productive day yesterday. I spent the day writing. My like I said, my writing partner and I are trying to take advantage of this downtime and just get some writing done. So yesterday we ended up finishing a treatment for a gay rom-com, which I really, really love the script. It was the idea. I don't want to say too much about it now, but the idea came from a just a joke I had with a friend and just a silly little idea. And so we adapted into what I like to think is a very sweet and funny story. And I am I got to check in with my friend Kevin, but we're supposed to be doing a photo shoot tomorrow. So I got to check in with him. So I'll prepare that today and make sure that all the batteries are charged. But seeing as I only got 4 hours of sleep, it's probably going to be a very quiet day here, especially because I had such a productive weekend and that I've only had 4 hours of sleep. Man, I really am tired. Uh, Gonna send out emails today and try to be more productive if possible. But other than that, I just see it just being a quiet, chill day. It is a tad cooler. It was hitting like the 100-degree mark over the weekend, like, high 90s, low 100s. So it was like about 99, 100 degrees the last couple of days. Um, but today it feels a tad cooler. It dropped like 4 degrees. I know that's not a huge difference, especially because everywhere is hot. But I mean, one good thing is we don't have humidity here. Um, I saw on Facebook that one of my Facebook friends is in New Orleans, and he was saying that it was like 100 degrees with like high humidity. It wasn't that hot when my friend and I went back last month. This time last month, it was they had just had like, we went for 4th of July, and they had like this huge heat wave like right before we got there, and I think the day before we left it dropped down. So we lucked out. I mean, it's still hot with humidity, but it was only like I want to say the low 90s, but maybe high 80s, if that. I think it was really just the low 90s. So I mean, it was still hot, and the humidity was high, but it was like worse right before we got there. Like it was hotter and the humidity was worse. So like we came in the small little break of like when the weather was better. So that's kind of cool. And that trip was a lot of fun. I went with my friend. It was his birthday, and so I usually travel on my birthday, but he doesn't travel on his, and his birthday's in July, and I had a companion ticket, so we decided to just go, and it was such an awesome trip. I actually had only been to New Orleans one other time, and it was just passing through, so I never actually had been in New Orleans, and I loved it. I thought it was great. Let me see, and we went we went on Swamp Tour, which I've never done before, and saw alligators up close. And I mean, if you've ever been on the Jungle Book, I'm sorry, not the Jungle Book, the Jungle Cruise at Disneyland, it's sort of like that, like this the same kind of boat, the way that you sit, in a circle, looking over the sides, and then like the alligators come right up to the edge, and I mean it's scary but sort of exhilarating at the same time. And I mean those creatures are massive, and it's just crazy. So to see them, and I never been in a swamp before, so taking a swamp tour was so much fun. I thought it was the most fascinating thing. So it's too bad I wasn't doing the blog then. I could have blogged about it. I did on my travel channel, travels with Michael, but I wasn't doing my vlog. So yeah, that was kind of exciting. And then I have this weird thing because I do photography where I love going to all the national parks, and so I talked to my friend Ryan, the guy that wanted me to create this vlog, all the time about national parks, because I get the national parks pass every year, and I do that because when I'm filming, and sometimes I travel when I film sometimes, and so there's one time a couple years ago where I was doing a commercial, and I was in Utah, and where we were staying, Zion was about 30 minutes away. Bryce was another hour, but Zion was 30 minutes, and I'd seen that, so I ended up staying an extra day after the show wrapped, and went to Zion and took some photos, and so and I was able to just stay because I have the parks pass. Now I can I don't have to get it. I can just pay for the park, but it's come in handy quite many times where I had some friends in town and we were down in San Diego and we ended up going to Cabrillo National Monument and I just happened to have the pass. So even though I pay for it every year, I use it quite extensively. And even for living in Southern California my entire life, like I still have yet to go to Yosemite, which boggles my mind. So that's actually one of my goals is to go to Yosemite. But I have the National Parks app. I also do this thing. I have the passport book. I know this is so random, but I have the passport book, and so I like to get the stamps when I go. And you don't have to take the book, especially this one because it's all bound. So especially if I'm flying somewhere, so they have little stickers that you can put the passport on. And so, if I'm traveling and I go, but it looks something like this. So like when you go, you stamp the passport, you just put the sticker on. And this one is from Zion. What are the chances that it opened up to that one? And I think Zion is where I actually found out about this, because I had never really heard about it before. There's also there's also a little token album. These are kind of fun. You get little tokens. I'm more obsessed with the passport stamp because I like traveling. I like getting my real passport stamp. So why not that one as well? But I love seeing national parks when I travel, and so I'm hoping to see some more national parks in California. In between, not now because work is slow and I don't want to spend too much money. I gotta work, but I will go because I'd love to go to. I have to go to Yosemite, and then there's Sequoia National Park is only about 4 hours away, and I have the National Parks app, and I saw that I want to say there's almost 11 national parks and monuments in the San Francisco area. So it looks like there might be a San Francisco trip along my way. And what's interesting is last year, during the holiday break, usually during Christmas, I go with one of my dear friends. She's like a sister to me, and they live in Phoenix. And we usually go out of town for the week for the holidays. And last year I went out a couple of days early and ended up going to the Grand Canyon, which I'd been before, but I'd never been when I was doing passport stamps, and I hadn't been since I've been doing photography, so I wanted to go, and I went to the South Rim, and it was great. And it was in December, so it wasn't freezing, even though there was snow on the Grand Canyon, and I'd seen the Grand Canyon at least 2 other times, but I never saw it with snow. And so going was great, so I take great photos. But when I was there, I was staying at a hotel in the area, and I noticed that there were 3 other parks. And sometimes there's national parks, and there's national monuments, and there's historic sites, and there's all kinds of things. And so next to the hotel in Flagstaff, there's 3 other places I didn't know about until I had the National Parks app. And that's what's so great about having the pass, is because you can get all of them for free. That I ended up going to 3 more, and I want to say it was Sunset Crater, I think is one of them. What it was called? There was one called, and I always get this wrong, but it's called Wukopti. I think it's an Indian tribe. Wukopti. I have to look that up. But they were all next to each other, and I just didn't know that until I was out there and I saw that. So I was able to get 3 in kind of one day because they're small. You can go drive through, but I was just am so fascinated by them. I also went to Death Valley and Joshua Tree. I went to both. And of course, I'll do those in the winter because it's so hot out there during the summer. Death Valley this summer got up to 130. I think it's what they said, 130 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's insanely hot. Even when there's no humidity, 130 degrees is hot. It was the same when I took my dad when we drove back to Wisconsin to help him move. We were going through Vegas in the desert, and it got to 120. It's god awful hot. So it's cool. Like I said, I'm glad it's cooling a little bit today. But I think, I'm definitely going to plan a couple of national park trips, I think. just because, like I said, there's a couple within like about a 4 hour range from here, which would be the Sequoia National Park. And I've been there before, but I don't think I've been to the national park. Well, anyways, I'm going to go regardless. And I definitely got to take a trip to Yosemite. So I'm just noticing that I'm rambling because I had no sleep. But I thought I'd just do my blog this morning and talk about my exciting life. So, yeah, just grateful that I finished a script. I have to be honest, and I'm very excited about this. I went through a phase where I wasn't writing a lot, and I think it was just I'd written so much, and I think I just was like, it takes so long to get projects made, and I think it hit a point where I was just like, all I've done is write. I needed to take a break. I was feeling very insecure about my writing because, I mean, I've, nothing's really ever been made yet. I mean, I've been hired to write scripts, but a couple of years ago, but I haven't really had any of my scripts made yet. And so I think I just got a little frustrated, but that's pretty normal, I think. So I hit a point where I was just like, needed a break. Even my writing partner, I think, was just like, yeah, we've written so much, let's, but for some reason, I guess now because we're on strike and there's a lot of downtime, I was motivated to write. Also, I think because my mother passed this year, and I always wanted her. One of my dreams was I always wanted her to come visit me on one of my movie sets, and now that won't happen. I do have this memory though where I had a play produced in 2011. It was in November of 2011. And my mother had we were workshopping it at this theater here in LA, and my mother had went to all the readings. So she had seen many iterations of this play. And so for her and my grandmother to be there on opening night for my play is a memory that I hold very, 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 very dear. So at least I have that, but it's different because I want her to be able to say that she went to the set of at least a movie that I wrote. But incidentally, my parents have visited me on set before in the past. I did a movie a few years ago in Massachusetts, and my dad happened to be visiting his family in New York, and it was only like a 2 hour drive. So him and my aunt came by and visited me on set, and they were extras. It was a lot of fun. So that's kind of one fun thing is that when you're following your dreams and your family can support you, that's always a fun thing. So anyways, I'm just rambling. I'm going to go and have a productive day, and I'm going to finish my coffee, and hopefully I will carpe diem, seize the day. Anyways, all right, happy Monday.